Hi everybody, welcome to class tonight. Tonight's class is on sigils. What are they? How do you make them? And how to use them in your magical life? First off, what are they? What's a sigil? A sigil is an inscribed or painted symbol that has magical power. It talks to your subconscious. When you see a symbol on a sign or you see a symbol representing something, you have a concept of what an entire sentence may be, what an entire subject may be. Let's take, for example, the pentacle. When you see the pentacle, there are so many things that fall underneath that one single picture. Triple goddess symbol, exact same thing. You are making a symbol that represents something for yourself. Sigils are usually made for you and your magical practice to represent something for you. Or for others, you can make them for others as well, but usually it's something that means something to you. So because of that, it is an energy working. Actually going through the motion, making the sigil, charging the sigil, and actually putting the energy out there to the universe is you doing magical practices. So let's talk about that. When you are making your sigil, there are very, very important things that you need to remember. First thing is the universe doesn't understand like negatives. They don't understand words like not or don't or things like that. So if you were to say, I don't want to be poor, or I don't want to not have a job, they're not going to understand those things. If I was to say to you, don't think of the apple, what you're going to do is you're going to think of the apple. You don't pay attention to the word not. So the first thing that you need to remember, take the negative out of it. If it's something that you don't want, then don't even mention it. What is the opposite of what that word is? So always keep it positive. Positive, positive, positive. And make it a statement. This is who I am. Something that goes with actual saying, me. This is me. This is a part of me. This is something that I'm trying to accomplish. So say that you are doing symbols for your sigils in a certain way and you're trying to accomplish something. So let's think about sigils throughout history. Where you might have seen sigils? You might have seen them when soldiers were going off into battle. They painted them on their shields. There were things that said, I am strong, I am a warrior, I am strength, I am living. These are all very positive, very strong, very telling the universe, hey, I already am these things. The universe doesn't see you as things that you're wanting to be. So you never say, I want to be strong or I want to be a warrior. The universe doesn't care what you want. The universe cares about what you are. So tell the universe what you are. So I am a warrior. You might have seen this in many ways, painted on shields with sigils. You might see it on gravestones. You might actually see it in a lot of books as well. A lot of people, for their magical name, instead of writing their magical name when they get into the occult arts, is they actually use a sigil. And what that is every time that you write that sigil, every time that you use that, you are saying, I am this. I am this powerful magician that you can't even contest, that the universe recognizes as, that I recognize as, that everyone recognizes as. So using sigils is very powerful. It's a great way to build your own magic. So tonight's class, I'm actually going to talk about 4 different techniques that you can actually start making sigils. I'm going to talk about very basic things that are very guided, things that are very simple to follow. And then I'm going to build up to your intuition, because that's important too. I'm not saying the one is less than the other. What I am saying is you'll find there are things along your path that you need to discover that doesn't fit into a mold. So let's get straight to those 4 different types. So the first one that I'm going to show you how to draw when you're making your sigil is, it's actually made off of a wheel. And I picked the American alphabet for this one, but you don't have to stick with the American alphabet. You can have this, you could have any magical writings, runes, Thebian, any other languages, like if you have I don't know, like say the Hebrew writing or whatever. You can use planetary, you can use zodiac. There's just so many different choices that you can use for this. It's just for simple reasons I wanted to show you guys this one so that you can see how it can be done. And I like this one when you're first starting learning how to do sigils because it's kind of guided in the sense of you're not having to use your imagination so much. The biggest thing you have to decide is if you're using curved lines, straight lines, and where you want to go on that point, because I can go anywhere in this letter. I can go clear out to here, I can clear out to here. It's completely up to you where you want to start it. So let's first pick our statement. And I'm going to go with I am magical. Start with positive statements. Do positive statements. Don't be I want to be magical, because the universe doesn't care what you want. The universe cares what you are. The energy that I'm putting out there is I am magical. It is not I want to be more magical or I wish I wasn't so mundane. If I was to put the word mundane, again, if I was to say to you, don't think of the pink elephant, you're going to think of the pink elephant. Even if the word not is in there, our brains don't work that way. The universe doesn't work that way. So make very positive statements. I am magical. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to mark out any of the vowels, because when you're doing sigil drawing, they don't matter. So we're going to look at our letters. We're going to M, M, G, C, L. So I have two M's. I don't need both M's. I just need the one M, M, G, C, L. So now I have 4 letters. All right, so let's take our pencil. Let's go down here. So I'm going to start at M. And when I start, I usually do make a circle for that beginning point. Now, like I said, you can do straight lines. So I'm going to go M to G. Where's G? G's down here. I can do a straight line. I'm not really into straight lines. I like nice flowy curved lines. So I'm going to go down to G. Then I'm going to go up to C. And then I'm going to find L. L is over here. So I have M, G, C, L. I think this one's kind of cool because it actually makes kind of like a triangle. Let me trace it out so you can see it a little bit better. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so there is my sigil. That is the sigil for I am magical. What's funny about this one, why I really like this one, is actually if I was to turn it this way, that's a chalice. And I am a female, and I am magical because of those things, the things that make me a goddess, those things that make me this cup that holds energy and life, and all the things that go with it, that makes me magical. So for me, this is a great representation. So you can go ahead, you have a notebook. I like to keep all of my sigils in a notebook. That way I can go back if I wanted to use them at different times. I'm actually going to choose the color red for this because I want passion and magic and things in motion. So for me to draw it, because I turned it upside down, I'm going to swing this one up, swing it over, swing it down. There. There's my sigil. And I always put at the beginning, I am magical. Boom. Now, something else that you can do is you can actually take a piece of paper if you wanted to, and you can do the sigil, and then you can cut it out. And that way you can use it in your workings. You can use it for whatever you need it for, whether you're going to put it in your shoe, you're going to put it on your altar, you're going to burn it. It's completely up to you, but there. I have that sigil ready to go, ready to use it for whatever I need it for. Boom. Okay, now I'm going to show you the second type of sigil that you can make, and this one actually deals a little bit with the numerology. And the grid that you can set up for yourself, there's different ways you can do it. You can do 6, 7, 8, 9, depending, so you would end it here and have more rows down here, or the 7 and have more rows down here. I actually chose 9 because the magical numbers are 3s, and numerology deals with 9. So for me, it made better sense, but a lot of the sigils I saw out of there when they were making them, they did from 7 or 8. It is completely a personal choice. The important thing is that you make the alphabet in the order that it needs to be. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, on so forth, so forth. And when you make your circle, that you have the same amount of blocks as you do rows. So I have 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now you don't have to put it in chronological order. You can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bounce around that circle. It's completely up to you. What that's going to do is that's going to bring a whole bunch of different sigils in for you. So, but I wanted to show you just basically real quick in order how that you would do it. So let's pick a different statement. What statement do we want to? I am calm. Let's do I am calm. So I picked I am calm instead of I'm not anxious, because again, you don't want to say the word that you're trying to not be. You want to stick with positive statements, not negative statements. So I am calm. So again, you're going to go through, you're going to mark out any of the vowels. You're going to only keep the consonants. You have M, C, L, M, and like I said, if you have double letters, you mark those off, so then you have M, C, L. All right, M, C, L. I'm gonna take our pencil. Oops, too far. Okay. Now you're gonna go up here to your grid, and you're gonna look, what is M? M falls underneath 4. C falls underneath 3. L falls underneath 3. So 4, 3, 3. So you're going to start at 4. You're going to go 3, then back to 3. All right. And you can do it that way, but I kind of really like this one. I think this one turned out really nice. I'm going to just trace it so you can go back and see it. So right there, I am calm. That's a sigil for I am calm. So like I said, you can go back to your book that you have, your magical notebook that you have, and that you can do, let's pick a different, let's just do black. Where'd my black one go? And you're going to go right here, and you go up, back out. See how that one turned out a little bit different? That's totally fine as well. Completely up to you. I really like the way that one feels. You can turn it around. You know, if you look at this one, it kind of looks like a fishing pole, like something that you're sitting on a bank and you're just nice and relaxed. You're just enjoying things. I actually think I would keep the sigil in this direction for that reason. So, because it reminds me of just a nice, calming moment. So completely up to you. Figure out which way works for you. All right, the third sigil we're going to make, you're going to notice that my paper is already blank. I don't have any grids, I don't have any numbers, I don't have any letters, because this one is starting to just draw upon you intuitively feeling what you need to do. So the first one we're going to do is we're actually going to write down a statement. I'm going to go back with the I am health. Let's do I am healthy this time. A little bit different. So I am healthy. Again, you're going to cross out any of the vowels. You're going to keep, you're not going to double them up. All right. So I have those letters to work with. So I'm actually going to sit here and I'm going to try to move these letters in a way that makes sense to me, a way that, you know, I can start to feel them. This is where you start seeing a lot of other symbols that might matter to you, any runes or other magical writings that come into play. You might put them in certain orders, certain ways. So I would do this one because I want to be tall and strong like a tree, you know, things being able to lean on me and everything from that strength, from that rootedness to the tip top. So that's why I'm going to start with T. From this, I actually can do my H from here. You know, this would be H. You know, you can do L as well from here. Y, I'm actually going to do my Y like this. And then M, I want to do this for M. I have my H, I have my L, I have my T, I have my M, I have my Y. Now to me, this looks like strength, the tree being the base, you have the roots growing down, but I have the tools. The M almost makes like a tool for me. So I have the tools to make myself healthy. I have things that I can lean on, things that I can, like almost, this is like almost reaching out, like I'm reaching out for things to make me healthy. Now, the way that you put your letters can be anything for you, and a lot of other people might do it differently, and they might do it a little bit more, you know, different designs. And then they could have the Y like that. Look, that one looks completely different. It looks like another strong person, you know, with the ability to do whatever they want. This also could have stood for an H, so I wouldn't have had to have this one. So if I wanted to just modify this one a little bit, you know, I would have this be one that I chose. You know, like I said, it's completely up to you. However, if I wanted to modify the top one, you know, I could have it look like that instead, make it more simplistic. It's completely up to you, whatever you feel called to do, however you want to write it out, you know, but that's your sigil, you know, that right there. So let's take our notebook. We're going to make a new sigil, our notebook. So I actually like this one the best. So because it's health, I'm going to go with blue again. I know I'm sticking with the blue theme tonight, but oh, wait a minute. Let me try something. It's, you know, I'm all about the fluidness. So I actually think I want to have more. Ooh, yes, that's the one. Yep, that's it right there. Sometimes you feel them in yourself, like you'll be like, wow, nope, that's not it. I'm not feeling that. And then, wow, yes, absolutely. That is what I am feeling for my sigil. There we go. I'm going to say I am healthy. There we go. I am healthy. And that's the sigil I went with for this symbol. Okay, so the last one that I'm going to show you, as you see again, it's another blank piece of paper. I have my statement that I'm going with. This one draws on pure intent of what you're trying to do. You are going to decide what this statement looks like to you. You can pull in all kinds of symbols that you know, like I can post a whole bunch of different things so you can see a whole bunch of different symbols. But what is prosperity to you? What is strength and prosperity in financial? What does that mean? So start thinking about that and start drawing what that means. So to me, it's a full cup. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 being the last one, because I'm pulling on the 10 of disc, the 10 of pentacles from tarot. I'm thinking that tree that has all 10 of them on it, where it's the epitome of prosperity. It is the strength of having everything that you need. You know, you can pull in the dollar sign for that meaning prosperity, but I also want things going up. I like the idea of almost like a stock market line. Like everything is just up, up, and up for me. It's, you know, growing, growing, growing. So I want to put ends like this. That to me calls to prosperity. That to me is, wow, that is like, I'm talking about, you know, money, and I'm talking about growth financially for me. And I'm going to show you a special trick that you can do with some of these. Like, I can put this in my notebook as well. You know, I'm actually going to pick green for this one because green represents money and growth. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 1. And then I have this, and then I have the dollar sign. I like the idea that my cup can't spill. Maybe that's why I have those there. You know, this idea that the cup can't spill over. So, all right, that is my prosperity. Like I said, I can put it in my notebook. But let me show you something cool that you can do. It doesn't always have to be on paper. You can do really cool things. I have a bay leaf, and if you're into herbology, you know that bay is one of the herbs that stands for money, stands for prosperity. So I took a gold pen because the leaf is already green, and I am actually going to draw this symbol on this leaf. 3 times the amount. And there you go. There's my prosperity. Now, because I would want this to be charged, I would put oils on it and then I would burn it because I wanted to activate it. So isn't that a cool little different way that you can do another sigil? Okay, so we just covered those 4 different types that you can use. Key things to remember: don't overthink it. If you're concentrating on too much what you think it should look like, you're thinking too hard. Let your brain take the back seat, let your intuition take the front seat. Try different ways. You saw a couple of times that I tried different variations of how I drew a couple of them. That's important. You can always go back and redraw it. You're going to use the sigil, the final working, once you figured out what works for you. You saw that I turned it different directions. You saw that I like flipped it upside down. That's important. It doesn't necessarily have to fit X, Y, and Z mold. It doesn't have to follow this linear line. We are not linear. Nothing about pagans is linear. Break out of the mold. Feel what you're writing. Feel that symbol. That's the important thing that you're looking for when you're making your sigils. Let your intuition tell you when you're done. I don't know if you noticed, there were a couple times that I was drawing things and I was like, oh, that's it. I'm done. I got it. I figured it out. That's how it works. And you're going to have that, oh my gosh, moment. So let that happen for you. So now you've made your sigils. I've taught you how to make 4 different variations of how to do that. Let's talk about how you use them. If you're going to use them, I have a couple of the ones that I drew today. So say that I'm going to use this one on my altar. The biggest thing that I would use for this one is first I put the oil on it. That is my oil. There's an oil that I put on before I go into ritual. Most people recognize it. It's like the Christie scent. It's so weird. It's so funny. They're always like, yeah, you smell like temple. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's my thing. So I would actually take the oil and I would trace along the lines. And I would actually sit there and I would concentrate this. And, you know, to be honest, if it was sitting on my altar, I would put, this is a moonstone. And this is a rose quartz. Oops, rose quartz. Hello, right here in my hand. And actually I would put it in my seashell. And it would sit on my altar just like this. And I would charge it and I would allow that energy to build up on it. And I actually might take it on the full moon and then I might burn it, because burning it ignites it, initiates it. So that's one way that you can initiate it. So taking that sigil and burning it, it's almost like releasing it to the atmosphere. Do you have to burn every sigil? No, you don't. A lot of people put sigils on tiles that sit on their altar that actually represents them, or in their house to represent wards or anything else that might come across the plate. Like say that you wanted protection for your house, you can make a sigil and then put this somewhere on your door, like on the back of your door, or say that I was doing something that I needed protection while I was on my job. You can put this in your shoe, fold it up, put it in your shoe, put it in your phone case. A lot of people take sigils, they make them, and then they put them in their phone cases. You don't have to see your sigil. What you're actually doing is you are charging it, igniting it, and letting it go. At that point, you're letting the magic work. We're going back to the witch's pyramid. We're going back to keep silent. Once you initiate energy and you let it go in the universe, go let it work. Go let it go where it needs to go. And let that energy go and take care of everything. Like if this one was for I'm magical, I am magical. I don't have to worry about anybody else thinking that I'm not magical, because I've already released it to the energy and it's out there. So I had done this one, and this one was for prosperity, and I put it on a bay leaf. Now there's two reasons why I put it on the bay leaf. One, I can burn this. Burning bay leaves is actually a prosperity spell. So putting a prosperity sigil and then turning around, trying to burn it, and then catching it on fire, I'm releasing that energy. Now, if you wanted to double everything that you were doing, you actually could make that sigil in the air, letting the smoke handle it, taking care of that. So that leads me to one of my most favorite ways to do a sigil. So I could do it gently. If I was doing something with communication, new beginnings, education, any of the things that cover air, because incense represents air. Let this burn down a little bit. Now I can actually write my sigil in the air and letting it dissipate with the smoke that wafts away, with the energy. And you can pick different sticks, different scents, different things that represent different things. I think they have a scent for everything out there. Say that you're doing a passion spell, or you're doing a love spell, or you're doing a job spell, or you're doing a health spell, or whatever you're doing, or whatever the sigil is for. Like say that you're about to go off to war or something like that. You can pick certain scents and then do it. Now, let's talk about my most favorite way to do it. So to me, sigils are very energy, just like that. They are, boom, I have energy, I'm doing things. My favorite way to do sigils, if it'll light, it's going to light, is with a sparkler. What? It's fire. It's all those things. So boom, boom, boom. I just made a sigil. I just told the universe, I'm magical, bring it. And I did it with fire. So I ignited it, I had passion, I had energy, boom. That was my sigil. So there are so many ways. If you're a kitchen witch, you bake a cake, you take the icing and make a sigil. Say it's for a birthday, say it's for someone you love, you can make a love sigil, you can do their name sigil, you can do a birthday sigil, and you can write it out in the icing and then spread it upon the cake. That's awesome. Or say that you're doing something, you have honey and you have tea, and you make the sigil in your tea and you stir it up and then you drink it, you're taking that into yourself. Gravies, sauces, sour cream, it's up to you. There are so many ways that you can use this. You can go to the beach, you can make a sigil in the sand and let the ocean come and wash it away. You are letting that water take that energy, putting that out to the universe, what you want. There are so many ways that you can make sigils. You can put them on the bottom of your shoes. You can put them inside your shoe. You can put them on anything. Say that you're starting school again and you want to be an A student. Write out A student, make a sigil, boom. You got yourself your sigil. You put that energy out there. You said, hey, guess what, universe? I'm an A student. I'm not even asking for permission to be an A student. I'm an A student. So there are so many ways that you can use your sigil. I hope that you have a great and wonderful night. Let me know how you use your sigils. Put it out there. Good luck, everybody. Have a great night.